Welcome back to another exciting episode of Game Week 39. My name is Katushaloshan Matiza. I'm your host, and as usual, I'm never alone. I'm with my co-host, Mario. I wonder where you're getting this smile from, but welcome, my friend.
Okay, El Professor. Money Eyes.
Money Eyes.
Sounding all gleeful and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Let me not curse on maybe some kids are watching. But what's happening, Game Week 39 world? We are back with another one.
You know what it is.
You know what it is. A lot of excitement in a robbed man's voice. But what will I say, man?
Yeah, no, you respect the job. Good job.
Yeah.
No, welcome, guys. I think first and foremost, out of the day, you remember that it was on record. We had a bet. I told this man that Liverpool was going to deal. No. Let's get first business out. Gonna deal with him, and then you lost the bet, my friend. So,
but it shouldn't stand, though.
Why shouldn't it stand?
That was a robbery.
We cannot work like that.
On Anfield for that robbery, my guy.
You saw the scoreline. But anyway, he's still hurting, but it's fine. I understand. It's just been a day, but I respect the fact that he's here. Mario, a lot to talk about. Maybe let's start with the headlines. Leicester coming back to win from 2 goals down against Bournemouth. And then we have Arsenal.
Oh, you mean against Southampton?
Against Southampton, sorry, yes. And then we have Arsenal dropping points to Bournemouth. And then we also see Manchester City surviving in the last minute from a Stones corner.
Oh, you mean as referee assist?
Is it a referee assist?
Yeah.
No, but the VAR was correct. What do you think?
They've been skating. I don't know how they win in this game.
And then,
a lot of money is happening.
A lot. Yeah, man. And then obviously the last one, you and I, my friend, the game of the past game of this game week that is still ongoing. But that's what we're going to be talking about. But maybe let's start with Tottenham. We saw them win 4-1 against West Ham. Your thoughts on that game? I think we're watching
that game together actually, and you're cursing Pedro Porro.
No. And now you understand why. I was not even alone there.
And his whole life wishing he was never born so that you didn't buy him in Premier League. So that
you see how he costed me. I should have played Dunk.
My friend, I told you why didn't you start Dunk? If you doubt him so much, why not start with Dunk? Because last week, like I said, it will probably be both teams probably going to score.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a little bit tighter because West Ham seemed to be coming along the previous week, and Antonio, man of the game week, but when it's going high up there with the 14 points. This week, quite disappointing, I would say. Spurs put them to the sword. Spurs, when they on top of you, when they smell blood in the water, I mean, it's inevitable. And Son, with the double digits there.
He was shining.
Kuyaveski also implanting his name into a lot of managers' thoughts now, with playing so many 90 minutes. Very cheap, probably the cheapest out of those attacking forwards, sitting at 6.2 million. So I think there's a lot of positives taken from that Spurs result. Spurs have some good fixtures coming up. I don't know if I remember correctly.
So basically, you are hinting that it's not a bad idea to be transferring in Son.
Son, because they have Palace, Aston Villa, Ipswich. The next 3 game weeks. I mean, you can grab results there in all 3 of those games.
And I'm looking at the most transferred in Son is sitting second.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me. He is quite costly, but he does have the better of the fixtures, I would say, for midfielders priced in and around this area. And also with Man City not playing too good, I think it's a problem, that midfield area slot. Saka out injured, coming back with bad fixtures. Salah continues to show why he's one of the best FPL.
Before we move on to the other players there, as you said, you did talk about the likes of Porro and basically just the Tottenham defense being absent. Some players have Van de Ven. Is it time to get rid of them and probably start investing elsewhere, as I would like to? Like
I was saying to you on Saturday, I don't think because I mean they have decent fixtures coming out.
Yeah.
If you're not desperate to bring in a defender, or you have other defenders to rotate with your Spurs defender, I don't see a reason why you would have to sell them. Because it's rare that defense scores you, like, unless you get Keane, who I left as a second sub on my bench. unless you have like one spark from Keane, which is obviously unexpected under the circumstances. I mean, your money and your transfers would probably be better spent in different areas, midfield and attack.
Okay. And then let's move on to Fulham. Fulham lost 3-1 to Aston Villa. We saw Watkins scoring. We saw Raul Jimenez, regardless of the results, he still
continues to return.
You know what I mean? A bargain for any forward player for managers, and I think a lot of managers would also be considering him. I think his price actually went up.
Price change. Fulham have good fixtures coming up. If I have a quick look here,
I think the first one is Everton next.
Yeah, they have Everton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Wolves. Those are their next 4 fixtures. Yeah. Scoring 2 or less on the FDR rating. So, I mean, Jimenez seems like a cheap way into that in that spot. Pereira missed a penalty. Maybe, I don't think the manager will take him off for penalties just simply for his confidence. But Raul Jimenez seems to be the second choice in that situation. So
what about
if things do change, I think, sorry.
What about Smith Rowe? He's being transferred out. He's also part of that Fulham side.
Yeah, but his form has dwindled, I would say, a little bit.
Maybe it's time to get rid of him.
I wouldn't say it's time to get rid of him. I would say the fixtures still allow for some grace, for you to give him some grace. Because, I mean, if I'm looking at the Fulham attack and not the fixtures coming up, I would probably be Smith Rowe, Pereiras on penalties, of course, and Raul Jimenez. The 3 that I would probably be looking at to bring him. So I wouldn't just sub him out just yet.
And then United, they get a win at home against Brentford. We sat here and we spoke.
Hartford.
We
watched that game together.
We did.
With one of our friends, Evie.
You know, he almost left with a heavy heart.
Yeah, but he almost had a heavy heart.
But United came through for him because, I mean, we were also watching a parallel team that we all supported, Pirates, and we saw them succumb to a 3-2 loss.
Hey, another robbery. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with me and my team's getting robbed. I mean, first Chelsea with that Sancho penalty and the 2 ghost penalties, and then Pirates denied a clear-cut penalty. It doesn't get clearer than that, but yeah.
United, they win. Was it convincing in your opinion?
I mean, like you said, was Liverpool's win convincing in your opinion?
Of course.
Nah, if you're honest with yourself.
Of course.
If you're honest with yourself, you know, we dominated the game. We took you guys from pillar to post. We were denied penalties, and you guys were given extremely soft ones. So
we'll get to the Liverpool game and the Chelsea fight.
I'm just saying, you don't always get what you deserve. That's life. And sometimes you take advantage of that situation. Brentford went 1-0 ahead, but I think United, on a balance, were probably the better team that day.
Yeah.
Haaland.
I thought De Ligt had a good game.
Yeah, I think he had a good game too. He had a couple of good interceptions there. I think Haaland do a lot for his confidence scoring that goal. But United very good goal, beautiful finish. I won't lie. Got a couple of United fans here.
For a change, there's some positive
and they
to
discuss. The cameras, so I don't want them to get my bad side. So I'll just say a very good finish by Haaland, or Haaland, sorry, the mini Haaland. So encouraging for Manchester United.
You had Mbeumo. You're one of the managers that stood a chance on gaining some points based on our predictions. Which didn't go well, or according to what we thought. Were you disappointed by that?
I knew it could be a difficult game. United coming off the bounce from the draw with Aston Villa. Erik ten Hag taking a lot of positives from that. So I would say that, they kept the clean sheet against Villa.
Yeah.
There was always a high chance that they would be able to limit Brentford's chances,
attacks,
which they did. Brentford known to score within the first 90 seconds of almost every game they play, but found it a bit difficult this time around, even though they scored first.
I think a positive also that can be taken away from a Brentford side is the fact that Wisa came back on second half, and he now gives managers an option in terms of attack. I think he's
and I think Brentford have decent fixtures if we're being honest, because now they have Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, and Leicester. Probably the best run of fixtures for, in my opinion, by any team outside of, and even better than Man City.
And I think it explains why, according to Fantasy Hub, Mbeumo is due for a price rise. I think there are also multiple assets that we could see going in that direction. The likes of
Wisa, if he gets 90 16 price rises and falls just after the first day of gaming on Saturday. There were 16 price rises and falls. Even though, granted, it was mostly price falls. But like 4 or 5 price rises, Jimenez also
being one of them.
So I think we're still gonna see a lot of shifting when it comes to those prices, especially because there's a lot of cheap assets that are doing quite well. And I think for some reason the algorithm is quickly to
get the market going.
So we'll see.
So maybe let's talk a bit about Southampton and Leicester. We were watching that game online because they all kicked off at the same time, right? And we saw Southampton leading. You know, it was a shock to you because you decided to bench Keane and bring in Fairs or Fast or whatever they call him. And
what a blunder by me.
You know, but they go on to win, Vardy being on the score sheet, despite the disappointment from the defensive assets that you had, and maybe hoping that Southampton.
Mbuaneto on the score sheet again.
Mbuaneto, you mentioned him.
Quite a good
maybe
player
tell us a bit about that.
For Leicester.
And
Ndia as well. I've mentioned him. He's also a striker. He's also been playing quite well for
Leicester.
For Leicester. For Everton.
Oh, you meant yes.
Mixing them in for Everton. So he's the one who's making it that Solanke disappoints me. But anyway, Leicester doing Leicester things there. Don't you think? Vardy rolling back the years. Southampton 2-0 up. What a blunder on their side. I mean,
they still haven't secured a win.
What an absolute blunder. I mean, 2-0 up at home and to lose it 3-2. Final kick of the game, 90 plus 5 minutes, something like that.
Didn't something similar happen, I think, a few games back? Everton versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth coming back in the last quarter of the game. Probably the last 10 minutes
comeback kick with the 3 goals. I think it was from 80. It was 88 minutes. 88. Everton was winning it 2-0.
Correct.
And then the boys down with them. So it's been a season of comebacks. A lot of comebacks. But quite encouraging. I wanted to bring in Jamie Vardy a while back. You see, when I brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Leicester and Everton have been on a similar run of form in terms of fixtures. So I opted for Lewin, who's in the stronger team, but he's been extremely disappointing for me. The only reason I'm not shipping him out is because he's had so many good fixtures for so long. He still has so many good fixtures. It's crazy. So
now you're gonna hold on to him.
I don't think I have much of a choice. To be fair, I've got more pressing issues to deal with like Saka and Luis Diaz and what I do with them. So
hundreds, and then maybe we just quickly run through the Ipswich game and Everton. As you see, I did say this. I think at maybe 2 episodes ago that. Everton, they tend to have, that spell where they keep clean sheets. We saw Pickford last game week. He got maximum points. He made it into the top 3, having saved a penalty, and Everton kept a clean sheet. Keane having returned last game week, and then it's happening again. They go to Fulham now. Could we be surprised to see Everton keep another clean sheet there?
I would be extremely surprised.
Given the fact that Raul Jimenez is also hot.
I don't think.
And they're away from home.
I don't think that happens. Fulham is a threat for any team. For any team. I actually give the advantage to Fulham, even though Everton has been in such good form. But yeah, I think it could be a scoring draw.
Okay.
Maybe a 1-1.
Okay.
But then I definitely think Fulham can grab a goal in that game. So I wouldn't rush for Everton defenders, even though they have such good games though. Like, I mean, even now, after so long, what do they have? Ipswich, Fulham. Okay, they just played Ipswich. They have Fulham, Southampton, and West Ham. Those three teams are not in the greatest form right now. Southampton just gave up a 2-0 lead at home. West Ham just got a 4-1 drumming. Fulham, 3-1 drumming. So I mean, you could hold on to bring in a defender if you felt it necessary. But like I said, I would rather invest in my midfield and forward assets in order to look at defense.
Speaking of forward assets, as we conclude the results here, we see Manchester City surviving, I would say, in my opinion. They literally got away with it. I was disappointed. I expressed it on the group because I thought Wolves, they really did show up.
Like I haven't said that Wolves is not a... Remember we spoke about this last week. Said Wolves is supposed a team that...
And they did it last season. They did it last season.
Exactly. Don't see Chelsea giving them 6-2 and thinking it's go up everybody. Not everyone has the attacking talent that Chelsea has. But honestly, if I'm thinking, in my opinion, I think Chelsea has the best forward line in the league. So we just give referees getting in our way.
No, you still have some tests to come. You still have some tests to come.
And a couple of immature choices.
You failed this one. Hopefully, the next few ones you can get them right.
The referee passed it, but it's okay.
But I want us to speak about two players in this fixture. Haaland not returning again. I think you brought the voodoo to us, Mario. Get rid of him because he's not scoring.
I'm close to selling him anyway.
He's not scoring, and as soon as you ship him out, we're gonna get some points.
But don't worry,
but Guardiola returns for you.
Yeah, you're busy shitting on him, weren't you? You're busy saying, Guardiola.
I swallowed my own words. I won't lie.
Shipped him out. If not for Guardiola,
even with the first goal, yes. Goal would
have been even more painful. It still hurts now.
It really, I think it dented my ranking because you remember when we were sitting on Saturday watching the other games, I was saying that my ranking has gone up by 1.7 million, and then after Guardiola scored, it came down to about 1.3 million. So, I was quite disappointed. But I'm sure you were happy. Do you still plan on keeping him, given the fact that City still can't keep a clean sheet?
It's fine. I mean, what will we do? There's no point in going and China to remove a Guardiola who is a goal threat and a clean sheet waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Surely City has to keep a clean sheet at some point. They have to start keeping clean sheets. That's Man City's way. They can dominate games and keep clean sheets for 4, 5, 6 runs. So, I mean, it's just history, statistics, and whatnot.
So, you still plan on keeping
concede
Guardiola?
That many chances. And they've got very good fixtures going forward, at least amongst the top 4 or 5 teams in the league. So, I'm going to hold on to my Guardiola.
Okay. He did reward you. I understand where you come from last season. You really...
the one who put the nail in your coffin.
100%. So
I'll keep the faith with Guardiola. Hope for better days.
Yeah.
But then hope for days like yesterday as well. When he gets 2 bonus points in the goal.
We spoke a lot about this fixture in opening. There was a lot at stake. But I don't want us to dwell too much on this because we have really run out of time.
I think we've talked enough.
I just want to speak. I just want to speak of Diaz. I know it hurts, but let's speak of Diaz. What do we do with Diaz? What do we do with Diaz? Because I see Diaz is one of the most shipped out players. I'm one of the managers that are contemplating shipping him out as soon as possible because I also see that his price is dropping tonight. So what do we say to managers out there? Like I said, in my opinion, from my side, in my research and my foresight, like looking at the upcoming fixtures and his performance, I'm planning on getting rid of him. Do you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, if I'm looking at it in my team, I'd either make 2 changes
Yeah.
or I make one change.
Yeah.
And in the 2 changes I'm contemplating, it's obviously Saka, who is injured, gonna be coming back from injury. I don't know how he's gonna look, if he's gonna play, all of that. His fixtures are also not too great. And then it's for me between Jackson and Diaz. Why Jackson? Because I plan on bringing Palmer in for Saka.
Oh, okay.
Going
so
into
you
those
want to
Newcastle,
move your funds
Man
around.
United games. So I don't wanna bet too much on having 2 Chelsea at forwards when they're playing such challenging games like Newcastle, Man United, and Arsenal. Or I just take out Saka now, roll my transfer, and then I'll check transfer out Diaz and Jackson next week. But then, yeah, either way, Diaz
is on the chopping board.
On the chopping board.
All right, you heard green arrows, red arrows. How are things looking? There was a lot of improvement from the previous game week. How are we doing this episode?
Yeah, you just keep on taking digs at me, man. Like, I mean,
but there were some improvements.
What's going on? Yeah, I told you I almost got for the first time 1 point above average. Now you keep on telling me I'm improved. No, man.
Okay, no, I'll stop, my friend. This fixture is not good for us. Yeah. So.
I've got 2 red arrows. The rest are green.
Yeah.
Which are in mini leagues. Game week 39. How do I get a red arrow in game week 39? That's just ridiculous. At this point, I'm literally 1 point ahead of Heavy. This is just bad. Heavy, we're literally fighting relegation. Zooks, what is Zooks doing down here?
No, Zooks is not participating this season.
No, but I mean, he's making changes. What is Keane doing in his team?
No, otherwise is.
Oh, okay, it looks like you have the same team.
No, he's not playing this season.
No, but he subbed in Salah. Oh no, or Son.
Auto sub. Is it not auto?
No, he brought in Son.
Zooks.
So I mean, it looks like he's at least having a look at his team, though. Yeah, but no.
All right, so yeah, man.
Because if he's not playing, how is a man who's not even paying attention to his team?
I'm gonna try to be humble here, but it's all green arrows here, so we're cruising nicely.
Of course, yes, Keane.
We're cruising nicely. We're doing very well. Like I say, my barometer is 3 green arrows going up consistently. You know, we're fighting for the title. But if you're going to be going up and down, you're going to see red and greens. But if you're seeing reds back to back, hey, yeah, no. Maybe it's time to bring in a new manager there. But
a new manager, I don't think you can sack yourself, eh?
No,
otherwise, I would have probably done it.
You'd have been gone by now.
I would have been gone. Game week 6 when I saw I didn't have Haaland. I would have X'd myself. Maybe ask Tiago to take over my FPL.
Some standout players here. So we see Keane currently, as I say, at the time of recording, there's still a game that's playing, so things could change. Keane, 14 points, currently voted king of the game week, having scored a goal and also kept a clean sheet. Market value 4.1 million, and is owned by 7.6% of managers. So yeah, we got rewarded there by having some faith. And then Jones from Liverpool, he comes on. He benched Diaz. We were expecting Diaz at least to start coming back, but yeah, it's looking bad for Diaz. He's got 13 points. Jones, having scored a goal and an assist, his market value is 5.3 million, owned by 0.1% of managers. So not a lot of managers got rewarded for that. And then we see Son. We spoke about Son and the possibility of him continuing with this good run. We know that
good fixtures as well.
With the good fixtures, we know that when Son starts kicking, things start happening, and he can be very consistent with some good form of returns there. So 12 points he scored, having scored a goal and an assist. I just saw an article right now speaking of an assist which was reversed. There's an article about it. You guys can go check it.
Goal?
I think so. I didn't read too much about it, but we'll share the link with you guys on our social media, and then you guys can just read up on that. If in case you had Son and you're wondering why you didn't get the extra assist, that has been reversed and the explanation is all there. But his market value is 9.8 million. Speaking of this 9.8 million, as I said earlier, I'm thinking of chopping Diaz. He was one of the players that I had on my watch list, trying to see how I can squeeze him in. But I'm currently struggling with the funds in terms of what I want to, move around in terms of the next fixtures and all of that. So it's actually pushing me towards having to settle for, a lesser, cheaper asset, the likes of Mbeumo, in order to fill that Diaz gap. But like I said, I'm yet to pull the trigger on that. He's owned by 6.0% of managers, so he's also going on as a good differential. But yeah, those are the standard players. We'll see if Nottingham and Crystal Palace can probably produce someone who can come onto this list. Hopefully not.
Otherwise
the ranking is gonna keep dropping, and we desperately need it. You were speaking earlier about red cards that took place this past game week. Saliba is one of them, unexpectedly. Anderson from Fulham, he also got a red card. Of
course, an excuse for Arsenal fans to say why Bournemouth dealt with them. But Bournemouth have dealt with them. Bournemouth has been in pretty good form.
We saw Kudus. We were watching the game,
he lost his
and
head.
We were like, what is going on?
He lost his head.
And we were surprised when he got a yellow card at first, but we knew that you don't get away with such things.
After maybe the first one, he gets away with just the yellow. But the second one definitely not. That was intentional. Hands in the face. I don't know what he expected to happen. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. But there could only have been one result, and I think the right result, the red card.
Too bad for managers that had Saliba, because we know that a lot of managers were doubling up on Arsenal looking at the fixture.
Yeah, with the -3.
Straight red. So disappointing for Arsenal. I also had doubled up.
Disappointing for Arsenal, disappointing for our clean sheets, disappointing for our bed slips. I mean, Arsenal alone killed like 4 of my bed slips.
And you started off well.
I did. I had one double, both teams to score Spurs and West Ham. Dealt with that one early. Over 2.5, dealt with that one early. The fixtures were going well.
That way, we'll reach out to you guys. Maybe you can give us a code, Game Week 39 there for our viewers. I'm sure we've got quite a lot of viewers who are participating in that.
Just don't bet Arsenal.
Let's move on to the upcoming fixtures. Game week 9 is almost upon us. It's going to come earlier than most of the game weeks. We have the first early kickoff of the season, which is on Friday.
Is it the first? No, Man United started the season on Friday.
Right. So it's the second. Firstly here, I've shortlisted Leicester versus Nottingham. My reason for that is the fact that I really want to start paying attention to some Leicester assets and seeing exactly what the likes of Vardy could possibly bring us. We saw Winks also coming into an assist. I had him on my bench as my first sub, and it was mainly because of he's a cheap asset to bring in and frees up some funds for the rest of my squad. But Leicester versus Nottingham, I don't know, is it a game that you are probably invested in? Do you have any assets there? I know you have the defender. Are you still gonna play him?
I've got 5 years. Or Face or whatever you want to call him. I pondered bringing Jamie Vardy in. He hasn't been that prolific, if I'm being honest.
Could it not work in your plans to get rid of Jackson and bringing in Palmer?
I would look at more towards a established, consistent flow forward, like
for what price?
Raul Jimenez, because they're the exact same price. Raul Jimenez is sitting at 5.7 million. Jamie Vardy sitting at 5.7 million.
Does the 3-game run not cross your mind, given the fact that you'll be jumping on him after having returned for like 3 games for most of us who jumped on him early, and he's probably going to be exiting that run?
I mean, not really. Okay. Because of just purely based on the fixtures. I mean, Everton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Wolves. Those are fixtures. Jimenez wakes up in the morning for, and puts that headband, whatever it is he puts on his head. When he wakes up and laces his boots, and he's licking his chops, thinking about about the likes of Everton and Palace and Wolves. I mean, these teams concede a high number of chances, and Fulham have a lot of artillery. So yeah, Leicester, maybe Bonate, because he's consistent in goal. Vardy, because of the penalties, but I don't know how many penalties are Leicester gonna win. They've been fortunate. I think they've gotten 2 in the last 5 games. Hence, Vardy has managed to score twice, but none from open play. So I wouldn't hold my breath.
Aston Villa, Bournemouth. Watkins has also been showing, the Watkins colours of old, where he's starting to be consistent in the way that he's scoring. You saw me celebrate it this past Saturday when we were also watching this game that Watkins returned, Raul Jimenez has returned. Disappointingly, Haaland doesn't return. But the likes of Watkins, you had Rodgers. Rodgers also was on the score sheet.
He might also be on his way out of that one.
Who's that, Rodgers?
It's just he's so cheap. But I might look, because Villa, his fixtures get bad. After Bournemouth, they play Tottenham, Liverpool, then they have a reprieve against Crystal Palace, and they play Chelsea. Yeah, it's not the best time to bring him in. Bournemouth the same. I mean, they play Aston Villa, Man City, Brentford. Those are their next 3 fixtures. I think they're a bit better. But I mean, who do you even bring in? Sinatra?
From
Bournemouth, Sinatra, Semenyo.
They kept a clean sheet, so the likes of
Senesi was on 9 points, I don't know. But yeah, nothing tickles my fancy too much there. Maybe Watkins, because he's proven to score.
Be consistent.
But then, if for plans to bring in, I would probably monitor. I wouldn't bring Watkins and or any other player right now.
Brentford, Ipswich. I'm looking at that fixture. I'm looking at Mbeumo. I'm looking at Wissa.
Definitely.
Probably even a Brentford defender. We saw, I forgot his name, Pinnock scoring this past game week. Your thoughts there? You have Mbeumo. I'm sure you have covered that one.
Yeah, no.
For managers that don't have any Brentford.
Mbeumo, Wissa. Obviously, the 2 most deadly for them. If you want to go defense, because Brentford do have good games, Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Leicester. You could bring in Pinnock. Me as well is there.
Yeah, as a substitute maybe for the likes of Porto for myself.
Yeah, for yourself, probably a little bit cheaper as well. So in a strategic way, that power move might work because of the fans and also the fixtures Brentford have. Brentford looks good. Mbeumo is looking like a must-have. If you don't have him, at least a Wissa, strictly just because of the fixtures. Just the fixtures alone.
Okay, solid. I'm just looking at the fixtures. I'm like, whoa, it's just gold.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in FPL gold is green, but it's just gold.
Even in real life, gold is green.
So Man City, Southampton. You are one of the managers that brought in, as we're saying, the voodoo to Haaland. Do you think
you're gonna really blame me for this?
Are you gonna get rid of him so that we start earning some rewards?
Not against Southampton, I'm not.
So, Foden seems to be coming back slowly.
I think it's due a start.
Yes, probably. I think this fixture could be a good one to bring him in.
Yeah, it could. I could see him probably getting in there, probably scoring a brace, being involved with some assists. I could definitely see that happening, especially against Southampton at home.
Yes.
Hey, I think it's going to be a long 90 minutes for Southampton. It might feel like 900 minutes for them. Because currently they're the worst team in football. Yeah. By quite a good margin.
Having not won a single game.
I mean, losing to your fellow championship team that you came up with. 2-0 at home. that's supposed to be
Your
sign, seal, deliver.
Yeah.
I'm yours. Those 3 points are supposed to be there. So I don't know what they were doing with that. But yeah, it's one of those. You get your 2 goals, you become too comfortable, you fuck around and you find out. That's what happened. So yeah, Kato. I would definitely captain Haaland. This is someone capable captain, I don't know.
Well, this past game.
I would have saved it for Southampton. Not Wolves away. But yeah, we all make mistakes. Like the referee did at Anfield against Chelsea. But yeah.
And then Chelsea plays Newcastle. Newcastle hasn't been keeping clean sheets. Chelsea's at home. I'm sure they're going to want to bounce back.
We have to bounce back.
So the likes of Palmer, I have him.
They're definitely catching hands.
I'm definitely looking at some good returns there.
They're definitely catching hands.
Nick Jackson, he looked as if he might be subbed off, but I'm sure you were quite happy when he stayed on.
Because it is the rotation. Jackson for Nkunku, Sancho for Felix, Madueke for Neto, or Neto for Sancho, and then Felix comes on a little bit later for Madueke, and they switch sides, and then Felix comes in from there with Nkunku up front. But I guess maybe Jackson is been a bit frustrated from that constant rotation, because even if he gets into a mood, it's difficult to sustain when you're 70 minutes, you're going to be subbed off for Nkunku. But then Nkunku can play off that left-hand side, as we saw at Leipzig. He can play 10 left striker. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised to see Jackson stay in the game.
Talking about Neto, he seemed to be bringing some problems for us.
He was a bright spot.
When is he going to start? Or is he not in the plans of Maresca to be a starter?
No, I think Neto is fighting.
Because he assisted. He actually put in a good ball, which had it found Nkunku, it could have caused some problems. But
you guys are hiding.
But as an asset for FPL, do we see him coming on as a starter in the near future?
I would say focus on what's there. Like, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. And you're not going to, as bright as a player looks, you're not going to bring him in and then the manager decides that he's the starter. Nkunku, Madueke, on and off a bit. He has his, but I mean, he always causes problems. That's the one.
Yeah.
He caused Liverpool problems, especially in that first half, more than Sancho did on the right. Sometimes it's Sancho, and then Madueke clicks a little bit later. But Neto's gonna have to do something to break into that squad, because Maresca seems to be happy with that front three. The one that I think was probably most at risk where Neto might capitalize is with Sancho on that left-hand side. If he does see a decrease in form, then Neto might start on that left-hand side, Madueke on the right, Palmer behind Jackson. But Palmer, Jackson, probably the two most nailed-on players. They're young. They had the most goals last season for Chelsea. Goals and assists. They combined for the most goals and assists by any two Premier League players right now since Palmer has joined the league.
Right, so one definitely to look forward to for Chelsea against Newcastle at home. Arsenal versus Liverpool on paper, and also as I would say mostly just on paper. It looks like the game for the weekend to look forward to. It's a Sunday. I'm sure it's a Sunday. What do they call it?
The referees keep on messing up Super Sunday. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some controversy in that case.
Saliba has a red card. Do you think that is going to impact
of course,
the fixture outcome come this weekend?
It will affect the way Arsenal play or their ability to defend, even though they've got, what's his name? Timber, who they can bring in there at the centre-back position as well. I still think Calafuri can even play there, if I'm not mistaken. but then I think they
I think Ben White is also, isn't he yet available for selection?
I don't see him.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Did he play against?
No, I'm not sure. But you are. Where would you put your money on as a betting man? Liverpool, Arsenal.
Where would I put my money? It's a difficult one. Oh yeah, Ben White is back. Ben White was right. California. So Timber probably comes in for Saliba. Ben White remains out on the right.
Yeah.
California out on the left. Gabriel and Timber. Timber is competent. I don't know about Arsenal as a whole, the mentality. I think that the gracing, if I'm to be honest, I think they're moving backwards. And Liverpool know how to cheat, lie, cheat and steal. Viva la raza.
I think the short word you're looking for is Liverpool's a big club. They know how to get.
They know how to lie, cheat and steal.
They know how to get positive results.
If your definition of not to get a result is to lie, cheat and steal, then yeah, sure.
With so many eyes and VAR there and so many decisions, and yet you think we cheated.
I don't know how this thing.
But where would you put your money as if you're betting on Arsenal versus Liverpool?
I would say both teams to score probably, because betting. I am a betting man, but both teams to score.
And if you were to put on a win?
A win might be a draw this one.
You don't see a win?
It might be a draw. It might be a 1-1, 2-2 kind of vibe.
You don't see a win for Liverpool?
Liverpool could edge it because of the defensive uncertainty. But then also going forward, you guys get caught at Chelsea. Chelsea is young at the back. I'll tell you something.
Let's talk about
Chelsea.
Arsenal.
No, I'm saying you caught Chelsea. Chelsea's young at the back, and you guys struggle to maneuver away. Liverpool, Arsenal is a bit more experienced at the back. The defense have played together.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate Saliba is not there, so that might interrupt that.
Yeah.
But for the defensive midfielders and the defense and the goalkeeper, they well known to each other. Played plenty of seasons in the Premier League. So 1-1 is my result for that game.
Let's talk about captains. We need to quickly run through this. Watkins against Bournemouth. I have him there. Mbeumo versus Ipswich. Salah versus Arsenal. Haaland versus Southampton.
This win is going to your head, my friend. Salah versus Arsenal.
No. I gave 4 options. You picked out Salah.
I never picked out Salah. Salah against Arsenal.
I don't know what's
I'm not arguing they don't have Saliba, but come on. What is he going to do?
But had you captain Salah going
the fella that man scored a penalty that was not supposed to be a penalty.
Had managers captain Salah against Chelsea, they would have actually.
And then he passed the ball that Sanchez was supposed to collect. I mean, it's not like he did anything amazing, but it's fine.
Had managers captain Salah against Chelsea, they would have scored something.
All I'm saying is just respect our viewers. Don't put your heart into this thing.
Watkins versus Bournemouth.
Haaland or die, my friend. Haaland or die.
Against Bournemouth.
Haaland or die. Southampton at home, triple captain that man. Triple captain that man. Don't say I didn't tell you. Triple captain that man. Haaland or die. He's angry now. So I'm telling you,
his juju is gone.
That ponytail is going to be tied 3 times. I'm telling you. On Saturday when they play that team.
So Haaland for captain, who do you vice captain?
Mbeumo, of course.
Mbeumo.
Salah should be like number 6, 7.
And if you don't have Mbeumo?
If you don't have Mbeumo, let me see what this guys are.
With hope in your heart.
Robbery, all eyes.
So Haaland captain and then vice captain.
Mbeumo. Okay, we could go Watkins. We could definitely go Watkins. Yes, but I would like to see Brighton come see me after game 11. I might consider that because they're playing pretty well as well. I don't think we highlighted them.
No.
They've been playing well as well. Keeping clean sheets, Danny Welbeck. So yeah.
Okay, quickly looking into our mini week, we quickly see that, or rather we see that Liduna maintains first position, sitting on 545. points. So I think he's going in for 2 game weeks, if not 3 game weeks. So shout out to Leduna, they're doing the most. And then we see there's a new shift in the top 3. Musa has come on Cindy 11, sitting on 498. Cindy 11. Cindy 11.
Cindy like
CINDY 11.
How did I be without my Cindy?
So we see Cindy 11 coming on second position, and then third Pedro de Silva, Clueless 101.
Oh,
Pedro is,
shout out Clueless.
He's back.
Yeah.
So maybe we should probably get him on the next episode.
We can put like a screen monitor him, and his face will be here.
I think we can get our team at the back to actually connect. I don't know, maybe we can get those visuals. But Pedro, looking forward to probably having you on, given the fact that we see that you've risen. He's been MIA for quite some time last season. But Pedro sits on that position on 497 points, so just a point behind second place. And both managers not too far from first position. But as you heard, our bell went off, guys. Our bell went off, and it's a sign that we can actually go on forever. But unfortunately, we also have
all good things have to come to an end.
All good things have to come to an end. But I think you guys heard it from us. This has been a very interesting one. I'll say no more. But guys, do remember that the deadline is game week 9, Friday, is on the 25th. At 7:30. So make sure that you have your team sorted, you have your captaincy sorted. Those transfers, as we spoke about, there are a few players that are going up and down this evening. So Mbuemo being one of those players that are rising. I'm trying to think from the top of my head. Maybe quickly I can just give it to the managers that are watching this, that we have a few managers that are rising tonight. Mbuemo, Rogers, who you're thinking of shipping out, maybe keep him for
no, he's not on the shopping block like your boy Diaz yet.
Speaking of Diaz is also going down tonight, so make sure that you guys
I'm sure Brennan Johnson.
Saka is one of them. Unfortunately, tomorrow you're going to wake up with the 0.1 million away from out of your bank due to his loss in market value. But Guardiola, you have him. He's going to be going up tonight as well. Johnson, for those that have him, he's also going to be going on. And we see the likes of Semenyo and Mazraoui. We spoke about Mazraoui. Mazraoui from Man United is also going to be going down. So I think it's good for someone like myself who had considered him at some point and he had gone up. He's coming down. It's a good time to get in. Hopefully Man United starts keeping some clean sheets there. But speaking of the markets, I feel like this season I've actually been paying attention to the price changes.
Thanks to Fantasy Football Hub.
Absolutely, shout out to the Fantasy Football Hub guys for keeping us on
I think they need to give us a free membership.
They should for Game Week 39 viewers, but hopefully we can be able to just slide on their DMs there, who knows. And then they'll be able to give us that. But as we said, we have to come to a close. Mario, in closing losses.
Like Kato just laid out the numbers. I guess they didn't include his number one philosophy, which is to lie, cheat, and steal. But that's okay. For those who are watching, always keep your eyes on the screen, your eyes on the numbers. Don't be misled by deception and illegality. And like I always say, men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie, baby.
Numbers never lie. We shall catch you guys in the next episode, and we are out. Cheers.
Peace.